Did you see that cop right there? Oh, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I don't know if you can tell, but we have green pollen everywhere. It's so gross. It's all over the car. Like, spray off your windshield for a second. Go into a store or something, and your car's windshield just all covered in it all over again, and you got that film of pollen over it. It's the nastiest time of year. And honestly, like, a lot of people, I think for a lot of people, winter is the hardest time of year for them to ride, but I very much so disagree. I feel like spring is by far the hardest season down here to ride, because all the pollen is just so nasty. If you ride with your visor up for even like a minute, just get your eyes chocked full of pollen, and oh man, it's so gross. You like feel it scratching in your throat. So hopefully it's not as bad where you are. I was down in Georgia and South Carolina this week, and my goodness, those places, I thought North Carolina was bad right now. Those places are much, much worse. So, oh, gotta love that bump right there. Throw me out of my seat. Oh, that seat feels so good. I didn't record the earlier part of this ride because I was just driving all week, and I was in Atlanta and stuff in a car, and man, the traffic in Atlanta was so bad. And I was just like, you ever get on your bike and you just go as fast as you can, pretty much, and rip it for a couple minutes, and it's like, oh, it's the best therapy from having been stuck in traffic all week. What up, brah? You got the stretch. I don't like the look of the stretch, but I'm sure that riding one of the stretch bikes super fast is really fun. Gotta try one day. Some of them I just feel like are sketchy. Like, people took all the weight, like took as much stuff off of the bikes as they could, make them weigh as little as they could, and it's just like, oh, that's gotta be a little bit sketchy of a bike to ride. But you know, even when I ride, even when I'm riding fast, I'm kind of ripping through traffic, bobbing, weaving, just like getting somewhere on time. I just feel like I have so much of a sense of like the danger and the possibilities of being open to like understanding what could happen, and I feel like that has grown a ton from where I was as an earlier rider, and most certainly like newer to the road. And I feel like that's something that really, like, as a newer rider, I would really communicate to people more, that I feel like isn't necessarily that. It's like there is a rhythm to the road, and there are also a lot of problems and a lot of things. Like, the worst drivers are on the road, right? Like, the whole concept of speed limits is like they have to make the speed limit only as fast as the dumbest person can go, right? And this week I was riding with someone in their car, and they had like a fused together spine from some spine injuries, and man, they could not turn their head to look, like, more than like that. And it's like, so if you're making a right hand turn, or you gotta like look through traffic and see something, man, he just like jumped out into traffic, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? He like blew through stop signs, and this is like a middle-aged person driving, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, it was so eye-opening to me, even though it's like, I know that they're incompetent people, because like I've gotten into a car accident before with someone who just pulled out on me when they had a stoplight, and they just blew through their stoplight. But it's just like, man, when I'm reminded of those kind of things, when I ride with people like that, I'm just like, man, it's amazing And it's such a good reminder that's like, gosh, the people out here on these roads, I mean, he's sitting there like doing an email and one phone in one hand, driving with his knee, can't even turn his head to look at cars, and doing like a phone call or texting with the other. And it's like, man, like, after that I was like, man, I can't be in the same car as you. So I was driving behind him, he's like swerving all over the road. I was like, oh my goodness. And I feel like a lot of the people I've met who've been in motorcycle accidents, it's usually from things like that, where it's like, it was an old lady, her insurance was lapsed, she was in a car with like expired plates or whatever, and it's just like, wow, where do they find these people, man? Like, and it's just like, man, it's like you attract the, you know, it's like as a motorcyclist, you're like one of the highest performing people on the road, and it's like the lowest performing people are sure to find you, because they are absolutely gonna just mess up everything and show you like how incompetent and how little they're paying attention. And so this is a quick video, but man, I just gotta say, like, I was also listening to Yami Noob's video where he was talking about new versus experienced riders, and he was talking about new riders, or experienced riders don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone, new riders do. And I was just like, man, you are so right about that. I was like, I'm not recording like the way I'm riding certain times and all this stuff. Like, I'll ride like a little bit spirited, but man, there's no way I'm gonna go as hard as I would on a racetrack on the streets. And the more people I meet and stuff, it's like, man, you just gotta have your head on a swivel. And people say like, you gotta pretend like everyone's out there to kill you. And I don't know that's quite that bad, but man, you really gotta like be paying attention out here, because my goodness, I just could not believe how bad of a driver he was, and how it's just like, man, he pulled out on people and then like realized last second, like swerved into a ditch one time. I was like, do you just drive this way on the regular? I was like, oh my gosh, like, how is your car not destroyed? How have you not been in more accidents? And man, it's just like a blessing that it's like you haven't seriously hurt yourself or someone else. So anyway, keep that in mind. Good luck with the pollen. The videos might be slower in the pollen season. We'll see how bad this pollen gets. I hope we get rain every couple days, and that'll help me a ton. So anyway, you all ride safe, and I'll catch you on the next video.